it is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, what's happening, guys? It's Monday, March 30th, 2020. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend, and I'm glad to be back with you here this morning. So I want to talk about something this morning. I came across a podcast last week that I thought was really, really impactful, and I wanted to share that podcast with you guys. I wanted to share some of the contents, and I actually went and looked up some of the information from that podcast to put it in a more structured format. So the podcast was between a guy named Jon Gordon and then Don Miller, Donald Miller wrote Building a Story Brand. So it's a really popular marketing book that's out there right now. And so those two were having a conversation about everything that's going on in the world and, just the craziness that's out there and the feelings that everybody has as a result of what's going on in the world. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about how Jon Gordon actually broke this down. And I looked this up. He had an article posted online from back in 2018, but it's amazing how applicable it is right now. And that exact article is what they talked about during this podcast. So when we're done here, I will link that podcast into the comments here. But I wanted to run through that with you guys this morning and just kind of, I'm going to read you the article. I'm going to read you kind of what he said. Some of this is a little bit spiritual, so hopefully you're not too, against that. But if you are, I completely understand. But I think this will be incredibly, incredibly helpful for everybody this morning. So I wanted to say good morning. What's happening, Jared? Jeff, good morning, guys. If anybody else is on here, I cannot see you in the comments or live right now for some reason. So I know there's a bunch of people on here. There's like 17 people. So let me see if I can pull it up here. And there we go. All right, what's happening, guys? Ryan Austin, good morning. Jordan, Judd, good morning, guys. Dayton, Bruce Pulver, what's happening? Mike Rosgoni, good morning, guys. Thank you. So what I wanted to talk about was this. The 5 Ds that will destroy you and your team. So here's what the article said. This is from Jon Gordon. He said, I didn't want to write this, but I felt I needed to. Turn on the news, look around, read your social media feed. The country is increasingly divided. Teams are crumbling, marriages are ending. More and more young people are even taking their own life. Too many have lost hope and are giving up. This is 2018, by the way, not right now. Why is this happening and what can we do about it? The answer to me came a few months back when I was walking before a corporate speaking engagement in Chicago. I wrote it down knowing that it needed to be shared. It's happening because evil exists and it uses the 5 Ds to attack us and to attack our marriages, our families, our teams, and our country. So I want to run through these with you guys. And also I want you to listen to this podcast. It's the Story Brand podcast by Donald Miller. And Jon Gordon goes through these exact things on the podcast, probably in a little more detail than I'm about to go through with you here. So number 1, divide. The number 1 D is divide. The enemy tries to divide us from each other and from God. The word anxious literally means divided. Right now, evil is doing a great job of dividing this country. And this was probably, I would guess when he wrote it, probably a little more political driven, but I think that, what's going on right now is also probably dividing our country just a little bit. So, all right, that's number 1, divide. Number 2, discourage. The enemy knows that it can't beat you on its own. So it tries to discourage you, to beat yourself up and give up. We don't give up because it's hard. We give up because we get discouraged. So the number 2 thing is discourage. The number 3 thing is distract. You know the saying, if the devil won't make you bad, he'll make you busy. He'll get you to focus on all the things that don't matter so you don't invest time in what does matter. He tries to distract you from your core purpose and your core mission. Number 3 is distract. Number 4 is distort. The enemy takes what is pure and beautiful and distorts it. Evil will take truth and distort it with lies. Your negative thoughts are lies, and fear is a liar. Your negative thoughts don't come from you. After all, who would ever choose a negative thought? Think about that, guys. Nobody would ever choose intentionally a negative thought. Those are put there. So we have divide, discourage, distract, distort. Number 5, doubt. The enemy plants seeds of doubt in your mind that you aren't enough and that you aren't loved. It creates doubt about your future and your purpose. Ultimately, the enemy wants you to doubt God and believe that God can't be trusted. The enemy knows that if he can get you to doubt God, he can get you to believe his lies. The enemy uses these 5 Ds to accomplish the 6 D. This is John Gordon. The 6 D, and that's to destroy. In the case of a marriage, it's divorce. I know this sounds harsh, but look around you and see this truth playing out everywhere. Here's what he continues to say. But the good news is that love wins. The 5 Ds represent the devil's playbook. This is the only game plan that the enemy uses. And if you know the game plan, you can encounter it with a more powerful plan. You can love and unite instead of divide, number 1. Number 2, you can encourage yourself and others when you feel discouraged. Anybody ever do that before? When you're lifting other people up, man, you cannot feel discouraged or negative, right? You have to be there for those people. So that's why it helps you so much when you're helping others. Focus on what matters most instead of letting distractions get in the way. So like right now, everybody has those distractions, right? So it's really, really important for us to stay focused on what really matters. Our family, our safety, the things that we can do to stay productive, to stay active, all those types of things. So love and unite instead of divide. Encourage yourself and others when you feel discouraged. Focus on what matters most instead of letting distractions get in the way. Speak truth to the lies, number 4. Know that you have greatness inside of you and you are here to do great things. No matter what happened in your past, you are capable of creating a great future right now. Number 5, trust in God's plan for your life. Know that you are loved and know that your future is full of hope. These will lead you to the 7th D, and that is your destiny. This is what John Gordon says. This is such a good article. It's such a great podcast, especially right now. These will lead you to the 7th D, and that's your destiny. 7 is the number of completion, and in the end, we know that good always wins. He continues to say, it's much easier to write fictional stories and create movies about good versus evil than it is to write about good and evil in real life. But the reason why Star Wars, Harry Potter, Superman, Black Panther, Wonder Woman, etc. are about the battle of good and evil is because it's the major narrative of our existence and one that exists deep within our souls. It resonates with us because this is the battle that we all face. Right now, we're all facing this battle against this virus, right? And against the things that this virus has brought into all of our lives, right? Think about that. He says, my hope is that what I wrote here will help you win the battle and create your destiny. I believe in you, and I believe the best is yet to come. John Gordon. So I wanted to talk about that this morning. I wanted to read that to you guys first. But I know that everybody right now is kind of in an odd situation, right? Everybody is uncomfortable. Everybody is, just in a spot where It's nothing about what you're doing every day is normal. You can't go to the places that you normally go. You can't, be active. A lot of us can't see our parents. You can't see your grandparents. Your kids can't see their grandparents. So it's odd, right? It's just an odd time that we're all going through. And so one of the things that you will find yourself doing during times like this is you will find yourself overthinking a lot. And you will find yourself starting to have all of those thoughts that I just went through. Those thoughts of division, those thoughts of discouragement, distractions will take you away from what's important. Your mind will get distorted. Your thoughts will get distorted. You will start to doubt all kinds of things that you shouldn't doubt, right? And so, what I want to tell you guys is it's not about that. It's not about doubting. It's not about being discouraged. It's not about allowing your thoughts to get distorted. It's about maintaining that same attitude that you always have every single day of giving, of loving people, of encouraging others, encouraging yourself, focusing on what matters, right? Everything that Jon Gordon said, that's exactly what we should all be doing right now. No doubt about it. There's nothing else you should be focused on other than taking care of yourself and taking care of the things that are right in front of you and the people around you. It's easy, guys, to get distracted. Easy to get negative. It's easy to allow this virus to convert your life to something that it was never meant to be. It's very difficult to look at the news and see April 30th and you think, oh man, that's a whole month from now. What are we going to do? What we're going to do is make it through it. That's a promise. We will make it through it no matter what. And I would tell you guys, I'm going to post this podcast that I listened to. I'm going to post that in the comments. I would tell you to listen to that because it is super helpful to go out and pour these positive things into you. I talk about this all the time, but it is without a doubt, it's a necessity. It's a necessity for all of us to continue to pour good things into ourselves, right? It's a great thing to pour positive energy into yourself every single day because what's going on around you right now is not normal, right? It's very different than what we're used to. And so the only way that we can keep ourselves moving is to surround ourselves with the right people, continue to pour the right information into ourselves so that we can continue to kind of cleanse ourselves every single day of all of those thoughts that we have, right? That's it. It's that simple. And if we don't do that, then we will end up starting to believe some of those things that I just read off to you, right? Those thoughts that you have, thoughts become actions. Those things that you think over and over and over again will eventually become real things in your life. So you have to be careful of that. You have to be careful of what you allow yourself to think, of what energy you allow to come into your life, and how long you allow it to stay there. So I give you that advice because I think now is a time when everybody needs it. Everybody is kind of in that weird place, right? There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of things that, feel like they're out of your control. However, there's a lot of things that you're doing right now that are in your control. And so I would encourage you to turn off the news, open up podcasts or audiobooks. There's a million podcasts out there that are 100% free by a lot of authors that you probably would like to read from. And so if you go listen to those podcasts, Donald Miller is one of my favorites. He's one of my favorite authors of all time. So he used to write Christian books. Now he has written Story Brand, and that is an unbelievable marketing book. If you guys haven't read that, by all means, download it on audio or go, order it from somewhere or go pick it up somewhere. But it's you can go listen to his podcast. You're going to get a lot of the same content, a lot of the same information. It's free. So you have a lot of time on your hands. Make sure you're using it for the right reasons. Don't allow yourself to start getting those thoughts and go down that rabbit hole of negativity, of doubt, of discouragement, of all those negative thoughts that you can get. So That's it, guys. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend, man. I had a great weekend. Hung out with the family, went for a bunch of walks, had a bunch of activities, got some stuff done around the house, had an awesome weekend, connected with some friends, got a lot of stuff done. So I hope you guys are staying productive. You're staying busy, keeping your mind straight as much as you can, right? And reaching out to people when you seem like you're getting a little bit off. And that's what we're all here for. That's what we're here to do. If you guys need help with that, please let me know. By all means, reach out, connect with me, or connect with other people that are on this stream, and I'm sure they will help you out too. I'm going to post a link in these comments, guys, next to all the people that are commenting. I can see them on my phone, but I can't see them on the screen here. So StreamYard you just have to give StreamYard permission. It's the software that I use for this, and then it'll show your comments in the stream here. So I'm going to do that for you guys. So that I can see all your comments really easy and respond to you as I'm talking here in the mornings. So I'll post that in the comments. I'll post the link to this StoryBrand podcast. But I hope you guys all have a blessed day. I hope you have a phenomenal Monday, and I will see you right here, same place, same time tomorrow morning on Morning Perspective. I love you guys.